Welcome, Western Bulldog fans. Today, for On the Engine, this is Season 2, Episode 6. I have JT Robbins, head coach of the Western Rodeo team. JT was hired in August of 21 to be the head guy. So, JT, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I was raised in Dillon, graduated high school from here. Went to a junior college in Texas right out of high school on a rodeo scholarship. Transferred back, finished at Western, and was around here for probably 4 or 5 years after college. Ventured out into the world and did what I did, and I've been looking for a reason to come back ever since. And this opportunity came up, and
Here you are.
here I am.
Well, we're happy to have you. So literally, you were basically hired a month before the rodeo season got started last fall. Kind of tell us what that was like, trying to get everything organized and.
Pretty fortunate to have like a great support group around Western, and so it wasn't that part of it wasn't that tough. Like Janelle Hanlos was huge. Obviously, she was the interim AD at the time. She really helped me out a bunch. And really, the big hurdle was to meet the kids and get to know the kids,
right,
and stuff. But they were great. They're a great group, and it was easy to get to know them, and they were a lot of fun to be around it immediately. So
Good.
It wasn't that big of a struggle.
How about as far as recruits? Anybody that may have been in the pipeline that didn't come or anything like that?
I haven't really seen that. I feel like so far, what the kids that we've signed and the kids that have committed to coming have far exceeded my expectations.
Okay.
Like, I'm super excited about the next class, and I think we're going to be really tough.
So I was looking at your roster. On the women's side, you've got some pretty good depth.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see the 21-22 season closing out for the women?
I'll be really surprised if our women's team doesn't qualify to the national finals as a unit. There's some really strong upperclassmen and some super talented freshmen, and I just don't see how they keep us out of it. Obviously it's rodeo and things happen,
right,
but they're a super talented group.
On the men's side, you don't have a lot of numbers. Same question. How do you see the 22 season?
And you're right. Like, the numbers side, obviously we have more women's team members than men's team, but I think the quality in our men's team makes up for that. We have a really strong group of seniors, and then we've brought on a couple freshman rough stock riders this year that have just worked their tails off. Trevor in the bareback riding, you don't find a kid that works that hard just every day. Yeah. Super impressive, and I'll be really surprised if he doesn't win the region this year.
So, for some of the people watching this, can you explain how the collegiate rodeo works, how you select who is going to count towards the team score during a rodeo?
Sure. Yeah, so on the men's team, I get to designate 6 members of the team that their earnings count towards the university standings. Women's team, it's 4 members, and that's all. Those numbers are based on available events. So there's 4 events available to the women's side, 6 to the men's side, and I can change that team at every rodeo. It always comes back to, for me anyways, comes back to the kids that I feel I can count on. Everybody has bad days in rodeo. Everybody draws bad. Horses get sore, whatever it may be. But it always comes back to who's consistent and who's doing the little things during the week to get better. And that's basically how it goes. And sometimes maybe you have a feeling about a kid hitting at a certain arena, but for the most part, it's who do I feel like is doing the little things that I can count on.
So we're emerging from the pandemic in collegiate sports. Has the recruiting changed, or how you recruit? Because during the COVID period, you couldn't have students on campus. You have to do it Zoom. Has that changed really how you?
I mean, what I've seen is I think I have more students available. For example, students from other regions that maybe have stricter COVID restrictions and whatnot. They're maybe looking to get out of their region, transfer type students. It hasn't really changed the recruiting of freshmen right out of high school, other than on that year where everything got canceled, they gave every member of the College Rodeo Association an extra year of eligibility.
Right. Yeah.
So that presents a challenge. Like, what do we do? I mean, our budgets haven't changed. They didn't add another year of budget in there. So are those seniors that normally would be out of eligibility, are they going to come back for a fifth year? For the most part, those are that hasn't been an issue I've had to deal with yet, and if and when it comes up, we'll just have to have those conversations.
Okay. Got some quick response questions here. Favorite food?
Steak.
Medium? Rare?
Medium rare.
Favorite music?
I can listen to about anything. Not a huge rap guy. Not a huge jazz guy. But if I was going to pick one thing, it'd probably be like red dirt country type stuff.
All right. Favorite outdoor activity?
Just about anything involves a horse.
Okay. How about gopher hunting?
Yeah.
Got a few.
I can kill some gophers.
Okay, well, JT, I appreciate you taking some time. I'm going to turn this over to Keith Handlos for the next session.
All right, Coach Robbins. I'm sure you probably covered it earlier, but you rodeoed at Western.
Yeah.
What years did you rodeo at Western and what events?
99 through 2002. Saddle bronc, bulldogging, team roping, a little bit of tie down, and 1 year I got talked into entering the bull riding and the bareback riding at the Dillon College Rodeo. That was the end of that. No more of that.
A quick career?
That was a short career.
Okay, I get it. Okay, so most people know what practice for like conventional sports are. Mm-hmm. You go out for football practice, you go out to basketball practice. But rodeo entails a whole different stuff. So when you guys go out to practice, what's that look like? And, all the moving parts, the livestock, all that stuff.
Yeah, and obviously we have to, just to get practice off the ground, we have to get roping cattle in-house, whatever it is, roping calves, steers, rough stock. We have to have the livestock available. And say practice starts at 4 p.m. The kids, they get there, they get their horses ready, we get the cattle ready. For me, it's all about your horses and the livestock first. So the horses are prepped, warmed up, because we can't compete on the timed event, and if our horses get injured, so we have to make sure they're ready. And then it's just practice runs on each respected event.
So you guys have a set of practice. Calf ropers go at this point, then the team ropers, and then so you kind of set it up just like football or basketball practice. I
mean, they're basically drills, but it's just practice runs where we're trying to create situations where everybody can work on the basic fundamentals and runs. And the difference between rodeo practice and say football practice is like it's all about your animals. Like, when's your horse have enough? If your horse has had enough and you haven't, put your horse away, and then you go to a ground dummy and just rope on the ground and just work on yourself that way.
Is it hard, like we obviously understand you have to have steers to bulldog, you have to have calves to rope, but what about the rough stock? Is it hard to have practice saddle bronc horses, bareback horses, bulls?
Maybe the biggest challenge about that is your individual rough stock kids level. Like what level are they ready for? I mean, especially when like a fourth year kid in college is night and day from a freshman, and so you have to kind of set them up for success that way. You can't, your senior in college is probably ready for go down the road, professional type bucking horses or bulls.
Do you have to keep a level of different horses in your practice?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And we're fortunate too. We have some guys that are really good about helping us out with that. So
great. When you guys go to a rodeo, Western may take 30 kids, 40 kids, but you can only, for the team points, have so many men on the team and so many women on the team. Can you explain how that works? And then the kids who are on Western's rodeo team that go to the rodeo that are not actually available to get points for the team, how that all works.
So I guess probably it's easiest to start from how the college rodeo standings work. There's two ways to make the college national finals. You can end up in the top 3 of your event, or our team end up in the top 2 of the team standings, and you are high enough ranked that you end up on that points team. So when we go to Bozeman for their college rodeo, I go in the rodeo office before and I list 6 men, 4 women. Those are my team members.
10 total.
Generally, generally it takes care of itself. Obviously, when we get to Bozeman in a couple of weeks, we've had a fall season, and I mean we've kind of seen the kids that are consistently placing, doing the things. It can change, horses get hurt, whatever it is.
But it comes more consistent as you get later in the season.
It's no different than going to Vegas. You bet on the odds, like who gives me the best chance to win.
Great.
Okay. Stuff.
Good. Okay. Do most of your athletes do more than one event? And I'm sure it's easy for a lot of the other, but I guess roughies is my biggest question. I would say, are they more specialized than?
Generally more specialized.
Gotcha.
It takes there's not a lot of roughies out there doing multiple rough stock events. I mean, the muscle memory that you develop for one individual event on the rough stock end very often is counter or not complementary from one event to the other. So you don't see a lot of rough stock kids working multiple events down there. But we have a lot of multi-event kids. We have, Carson Klinger, freshman saddle bronc rider, team ropes and calf ropes too. So, I mean, that we have a lot of multi-event kids.
It seems like a lot of the ladies, the women, they almost all multi-sport.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of multi-event women.
So your family's moving down here here in the next few weeks. Yeah. Your kids obviously rodeo. What events do they do, and are they looking forward to being in Dillon?
So both the girls do all the available girl events: breakaway roping, barrel racing, goat tying, and yeah, they're excited. They're excited to come back to where Dad grew up, where Dad and Mom met. Me and Jolene met at college in Dillon, and so yeah, I feel like they're excited. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
So all of us Western folks who played, coached, or love a conventional sport have all learned over time that Carol and Tech are the They're the bad ones. And we got a lot of jokes and we pitch a lot of stuff at them. But as rodeo athletes, as a coach, and as all your athletes, you guys aren't afforded that luxury because Carroll and Tech are not.
That's right.
I'm curious, who is your rivalry?
The Pussycats.
The Pussycats. And that's funny. You said it right here. And is there some pretty good jokes?
Oh yeah, and rodeo's a really unique sport. Like, I mean, yeah, there are rivals. There's probably every rodeo our biggest competition. And I'd like to think we're theirs. But if we're behind the buck and shoots or at the rope and boxes, we're still, everybody's still good guys.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's the one thing about rodeo. That somebody's pushing somebody's steer from a different. They're all friends. They all grew up, and I get that part. Absolutely, the rodeo is very unique in that situation.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot of great rodeo hands everywhere, and you can't help but respect every one of them because they put a lot of work in to get where they're at.
Yeah, but you don't have to like them. I mean,
No,
you can cheer
you don't
against
have
them. We can really want to beat them. So it's the Bobcats.
Yeah.
It's the Bob. Okay. So I just got two last just fun questions. Pendleton or Crown Royal? Pendleton.
Why wouldn't you like a whiskey with a bucking horse on the bottom?
I was gonna say it's like Wheaties for back in the day. It's the Rodeo Champions whiskey. Okay, and then this last one. I don't know if you want to think about it or if you just want to throw it out there, but the bacon cheeseburger at the Millstone Bar and Grill or the Den?
Oh, duh. Den.
He's learned.
We're not going to be here forever, and you want to leave it better than you found it.